On this week's weekly video fishing forecast, we have a preview of the June edition of the Fisherman magazine. We also have the latest on the upcoming tournaments from around the island and all the amazing fishing that happened over the long Memorial Day weekend. All here at thefisherman.com.
The Fishing News is sponsored by these fine partners.
Today is Thursday, June 2nd, and the June magazine is out now. You've probably heard about slow pitch jigging, and if you do want to know more, check out Evan Camoan's article. Tom Melton has a great read on targeting those South Shore weakfish, and Scott Newhall has an informative piece on gearing up your smaller boat for bluefin. All this and much more in the current issue of the Fisherman magazine. We all know how hard these fuel prices have been hurting our wallets. Marine Mate in Lindenhurst is giving away up to $500 in free fuel. For every $100 you spend in the store, you will get entered into the fuel drawing. A new winner will be picked every week for the month of June. We have some upcoming fishing tournaments. This Friday is the Manhattan Cup. There is still time to enter, and I will have more details later with Mike Dean. Bergen Bay Docks is holding their competition on the 11th of June. Then the first South Shore Invitational Charity Fishing Tournament will be held on June 18th. For all the details, check out thefisherman.com/events.
Hey guys, it's Dave Anderson with the New England edition. Just giving you a quick rundown of what's going on in the Coastal Kayak Clash. We had two bluefish entered this week, both the exact same size, 34.5 inches, one by Michael Kelly, one by Scott Snyder. That puts Michael Kelly in second place and Scott in third, simply because Michael caught his fish before Scott did. We also had a 44-inch striper entered by Bob Wagner. That was good enough for second place in the category. But the most important fish of the week was Justin Oster's 20.5-inch black sea bass, which leads the category and gives him a comfortable lead for the tournament with 8 points. For second place, there are 5 guys holding down second place with 3 points apiece, but there's a long way to go. A lot of fish left to be caught and a lot of things going on in fishing right now. We're looking forward to seeing what you guys enter next week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
It's been a busy week for the Dreamboat entries. Robert Carazano steps up in a big way with a 7.83-pound weakfish, a 4.85-pound sea bass, and a 2.2-pound porgy, earning himself 20 total points. Nice job, Rob. Garrett Weir is in second place with 19 total points, while Dean Paella lands the third place position with 2 new entries. His first place, 8.7-pound weakfish and a 2.85-pound sea robin. In the bluefish category, Joe Mendez entered a giant 15.5-pound bluefish, which puts him in first place in that category and fourth place for the competition. Other notable catchers in weakfish include Michael Radowaziski with a 7.6-pounder, Sean Brownyard with a 5.4-pounder, and past Dreamboat champion Dave Weissman with a 5.13-pound weakfish. In Scup News, John Rotundi entered a 3.25-pound fish, while Elliot Arachnacci entered a 3.06-pound fish. Edward Parker entered a 2.94-pound fish, and Mike Briggs entered a 2.91-pound fish. The Dreamboat Fishing Challenge is a Fisherman subscriber-only multi-species fishing competition with a chance to win a new Steiger Craft Miami powered by Yamaha, along with many other great prizes. Subscribe now to The Fisherman to be part of the action.
News 12, meteorologist Rich Von Ohlen has the outlook for the weekend. Rich.
Hey, thanks, Matt. Let's check that weekend forecast, see what we got going on. You can always check your favorite apps, favorite websites, weather tools, whatever you got. This is a general heads-up, general overview on the upcoming weekend. So water temps, they came up. We got some 60s now all throughout the ocean and the Sound. Raritan Bay getting close to the 70-degree mark right now. Wave heights looks good for the weekend for the ocean and the outdoor stuff. Across the Sound, the East End. 2 to 4, 4 to 8's way offshore. So I think with a general breeze from the northwest Saturday should be good. We go light and variable to more of a south, southwest, or southeast coming in for Sunday afternoon. But looks like shaping up to be a good weekend. Anything you want to do across the Sound, the ocean, the Bay, Peconic Bay, Jersey Shore, anywhere you're running looks pretty good. Offshore, pretty good too. Northwest Saturday about 5 to 15, and then Sunday a light north breeze early, going south, maybe south-southeast in the afternoon. But I think overall it looks pretty good. High tide Saturday for the North Shore for the mid-afternoon. South Shore, figure about late morning, midday. We got 70s to near 80 on Saturday. Nice June day for this first weekend of June. 60s, 70s on Sunday, so we're shaping up pretty well there as well. A quick check of the Guru. There's Saturday. And, again, northwest breeze, maybe the early morning a little choppy, but then it starts to settle a bit. The wave heights aren't bad. I mean, this is like about 2 to 3 feet. And then on Sunday, early morning looks very good. We got light variable breeze, and then starting to get a little more southeast after about 2, 3 in the afternoon. But overall, have a good-looking weekend for this first weekend of June. Get out and enjoy. Catch them up. Be safe.
It's time for our correspondents to check in. Let's start off with Captain Timothy O'Rourke from Montauk. Tim.
Thank you, Matt. Well, greetings, everybody. I'm not at Montauk. I'm at my son's baseball game tonight. But the report on Montauk is plenty of striped bass, big striped bass. Doesn't matter if you're catching them on a diamond jig, bucktail, popper, you name it, or a fly. There's been some really nice fish, all the way from 30 to 40 pounds, plenty of fish in the slot range. Basically, if you can't catch a striped bass in Montauk right now, you should probably take up another hobby. Big bluefish in there as well, so they're a lot of fun in the shallows and out in the rips. Fluke's definitely picking up. The water's warming up and the fish are coming over the rail as such. Miss Montauk's been doing well. Ebb tide's been doing well, and all the other charter boats and party boats are starting to pick away at some decent fluke. Last week I mentioned bluefin tuna were close. There's been a bunch of those sightings of bluefin. As always, I'm very vague on my tuna for obvious reasons, but there's a couple boats heading out to the edge going deep this weekend, so we should have maybe a canyon report. I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, until next week, I'll send it back to you, Matt. Thanks again.
Thanks, Matt. So water's heating up, so is the bite. We got some bluefin finally showing up south of Block Island and by Montauk. We got striped bass picking up around Sag Harbor area and even by Shinnecock too. The porgy bite's still remaining great, and the weakfish are really doing well also. So all around, really a smorgasbord out there. So keep at it, and we'll talk to you next week. Back to you, Matt.
From Shinnecock, let's check in with Mike Dean, who's also got some info about the upcoming Manhattan Cup.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everyone. Yes, I am ready and fired up for the Manhattan Cup this Friday. Liberty Landing in New Jersey. Hopefully a few of you guys have signed up, and we'll see you there for either a returning time or the first time. And we have a bunch of veterans going out. Myself, Matt, Tim O'Rourke, a couple other guys from the Fisherman. So going to be a great day for a great cause. Bite's been pretty good over Raritan, so I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to be on Bass Appeal with Adrian Moeller. Nice big Sportsman Center console. So it's going to be a good day. Hopefully I'll be back here next week with a report of some good wins for some of us fishermen crew. So in terms of the bite in between Shinnecock and Moriches, we have seen the blues thin out and some bass move in. Solid schoolie bite in the bay. Buddy of mine got a whole bunch on soft plastics and poppers midday on the incoming, and there's also been some nice fish at night, mostly, surf casters through the night, working the tide. Heard of, pretty steady, like 20, 30-pound fish, kind of scattered all over. Obviously focus on that moving water, a little bit of structure with bigger plugs, but they are around. In terms of the ocean bass fishing, I did see a blitz off of Tiana, out a little bit, a couple of boats working it. Not sure if those are blues or bass, but the bunker are definitely around there. Fluke and porgies and weakfish. Peconic is still the king there. There are some fish around Shinnecock, closer to the inlet, a little bit north. Not as many keepers, that's not really into like totally full swing, but definitely worth making a trip for some of those flatties. So until next week, get out there, catch them up, have fun. I'll talk to you then. Back to you, Matt.
Dylan Jewell from Moriches has this report. Dylan.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, Long Island. Hope everyone's been getting out. The new moon that we just had to push a much, much bigger fish. We had fish to 50 plus pounds on the beach. The boat guys have been hammering big fish. Adam on the Tuna Cartel boated one around 70 pounds. So there's definitely some big girls out there. The bluefish are a little more spread out, not quite as concentrated as they were, but still around. Threshers have shown up. So for the offshore guys, you guys are going to start getting in some action. New surf guys. Seen a lot of guys out on the rocks not wearing corkers. It is a major, major safety issue. Going down to land of fish or just rock hopping, slipping on algae, something, fall, slip, hit your head. get knocked out, fall in the water, drowned, it is a major, major safety issue. So make sure you guys get yourself some corkers, studded shoes, something to prevent any injury. That's all I got for you guys this week. Hopefully everyone stays on the red hot fishing we have, and talk to you next week. Back to you, Matt.
From Northport, we have Mark McGowan from Cow Harbor Bait and Tackle.
This weather took a turn. We were talking about it last week. Now we're in a cold front. Back from yesterday was really hot. So, you know, those back areas, we're talking about marshes, creeks. You look at Stony Brook, Nessequag River, the back of Cold Spring Harbor, Northport, Huntington. Those areas are going to be particularly warm. And now all of a sudden they're going to switch over and they're going to get cold. That difference in that thermal change can really do something to set off the fish. You know, these fish have spread out, I think. I don't see any bluefish up here. The weakfish have really kind of moved out a little bit. I think maybe they're waiting for something to happen with the moon. There's plenty of bait to be had, lots of big bunker, and the big bass still continue to stay out in the triangle and out in the 15 area, but there are definitely pods that are being caught. Some beautiful fish on the bait chunk, and also using eels, rigged eels, and big plugs, you know, in the nighttime. This is a really good time. Remember, we're coming off the new moon, so our highs are still going to be around a little after midnight. So that gives you a beautiful time up here in our area to experience the top of the high, the top of the ebb, top of the flood rather, into the ebb. So those are beautiful hours bringing you into a low tide almost as the sun comes up. So it's definitely a great time to get out there. The fishing, nothing but stellar. Go out, enjoy yourself. There's still beautiful fluke coming up. We've got porgy in the area. There's some fantastic sea bass, but remember, you have to put them back and just practice your safety. Have a great time. This was a fantastic Memorial Day. Thank you to so many people that came and helped support our family business. We love you, and I can't say enough of adoration I have for people that come in and watch these reports and say wonderful things. Thank you from the deepest parts of my heart. It just is a great feeling. Until next week, I bid you all peace and tight lines.
From the Fire Island area in Great South Bay, let's check in with Captain Lorenzetti.
Hey Matt, Fire Island report. Things are really happening. Some big bass showed up. A lot of keeper-sized bass as well, slot fish on live bait, clam chum, bucktailing, all catching fish. And these tsunami, I've been fishing these tsunami plugs on big bluefish up in the back country, 3 to 5 feet of water. I mean, the surface blaster, the smaller version. There's a bigger version, but I'm doing better with the smaller version. And I mean, fish to 18 pounds on light spinning gear. It's a blast. Fluke fishing also has improved, and there's some good bite of weakfish down by Ocean Beach, some fluke mixed in with that as well. So fishing is really excellent. And I wanted to mention Bergen Bay Docks Striped Bass Tournament coming up June 11th. So check their website, get all the particulars, get the details. And it should be an excellent week of fishing. So take care. Talk to you next week, Matt. Be well.
Let's check in with KJ Kennedy from the Great South Bay.
Thanks, Matt. So this Memorial Day weekend, weather-wise, was one for the books. Basically, from Moriches Inlet to Smith's Point, keeper-sized fluke are here. And my buddy Bill from Chasing Tails got on a nice slot-sized striped bass surf casting in the Bellport Bay area. And then Adam Ross, again from Tuna Cartel, third time in 2 weeks, got on an absolute monster striped bass. He said this fish was caught on ballyhoo trolling for tuna. It was about 70 pounds and 65 inches, so total monster. And he said the picture really didn't do it any justice. Other than that, the bay temperature now is in the low 60s. This coming weekend is going to be a little bit cooler than now. It's like 90 degrees today, which is actually kind of nice. And we're going to have a nice light wind on Saturday and Sunday, so it's going to be a great weekend for fishing. Fire Island Catch and Cook store is now live at fireislandcatchandcook.com. All orders placed until the end of June come with a free bottle of FICC hot sauce, so check that out. Other than that, enjoy the weekend. The summer is here finally, and it looks like the wind is laid down, so catch them up. And thanks a lot, Matt, and I'll talk to you guys next week.
With our Fly and Freshwater report, we have Paul McCain from River Bay Outfitters.
Hello, Matt. Well, it was another excellent week as fishing. You got to put the time in. I actually spent I'm really setting up a challenge for myself. I want to keep my waders wet, or at least my fly line wet. So I've been fishing just about every day or every other day. First of all, I went out to the Jones Beach area using my two-handed fly rod. I was able to land a nice schoolie-sized bass one night. Then another night, I went out to one of our spring creeks. It was all native brook trout, but you got to figure out the right hatch, and I did have success. I also been going out to some of the local ponds, and it's bluegills and bass, but it's nice to get out. The fly rodders actually had their trip up to the Farmington, and even though the water was low, everybody caught fish. There are hatches starting to come off. This is the spring. As far as the back bays, Doug Dennis and Norman spent the day out there plugging the sod banks, and they found success. There are fish to be had. You can't catch them sitting on the couch, so get off your tuchus and get out there while you can. Tie lines, everybody.
From Oceanside, we have Joey Leggio.
On to reports out of the Debs Jones Inlet area. The fishing's there, it's really good. I'm sure most of you've heard about the striper fishing that's going on outside the inlets now. The big girls moved in, and there's some pretty impressive fish that are being caught. There was a rumor of one possibly 70-pounder being caught while the guys were tuna fishing. I didn't see the fish or weigh the fish, so I don't know, but that's one of the rumors that we heard. Fluke fishing in the bay's been good, and mixing with the fluke now, we've been seeing some nice weak fishermen coming up. I had Dave on the boat, and he had one estimated about 5 or 6 pounds that spit the hook right at the boat. One of the things with these weak fish is that their mouths are on the weaker side, hence the name of weak fish. So you really don't want to horse them, and if you did want to target them, a softer rod is a lot better than like a stiff graphite rod. So there's that play, and it makes it a little more forgiving on the fish when they try to make their runs. There was reports of some tuna out there. Again, these are rumors I'm hearing. I haven't seen it myself, but supposedly there was some bluefin tuna around. There's also been quite a bit of trushes being caught very close to shore too. So if you guys want to get out there, have some shark fishing. I know these tournaments are coming up. Don't overrun the fish is all I'm going to say. The bridges, the bays, the stripers are there, the bluefish are there. All around, it's just really good fish right now. It's a good time to get out. It's also good for the kids because the bay is pretty much alive, so you don't have to take the kids out into the ocean. And I'm all about, hashtag take a kid fishing, so it's a great thing to do too. But other than that, get out there, the fish are there, and that's it. Matt, back to you.
Let's check in with Chris Ludwig. Chris.
Hey, thanks Matt. What's going on, guys? So this last week I wasn't out as much as I would have liked to have been, but for what I understand, the action is sustaining itself and only getting better. In our local backwaters, the striped bass have been holding tight to the bridges, and guys have been doing wonderful on clam chum as well as bucktail and jig and what have you. Moving forward, out in the ocean, there was a sick troll bite a couple days ago. Guys accounted for 50, 60 pound striped bass, all released, and that's wonderful to see. Bringing it back to the bay again, we're going to bring up the fluke. The fluke action, at least in my area, has been good. Pretty good. I haven't been doing it myself, but the guys I've been speaking with say it's been great. They had a few clients out, like my friend Phil at Resurrection Charters. He's been hanging 4, 5, 6 pound fluke religiously recently. I'd highly give him a call. And before we end this up, I just want to take note that we had a big old surprise come up in Jones Inlet the other day, about a 400-pound mako, give or take. That's what they're saying. Perfect timing for us. We're going to be dropping baits this weekend going forward through the whole summer for the legal species of shark. So other than that, I mean, it looks like summer is in a good swing. I hope to see you all out there, and take care. Back to you, Matt.
Chris Landry has a Jamaica Bay report for us.
Thanks, Matt. On Memorial Day weekend, Carl Newman and I helped save 3 people from drowning whose boat capsized in Jamaica Bay. We were on our way back from Bang & Bass, and we came across a boat that was capsized with people in the water. We went over to them, threw them a throw cushion, helped save one of the guys. They didn't have any life jackets. They didn't know how to swim. They were in a small tin boat, and they got flipped over by some big waves. The ferries make big waves. Other boats make big waves. I called the Coast Guard. I got on channel 16. I said, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Boat capsized. 3 people in the water. The first responders came within minutes. Several boats and a helicopter. So God bless our first responders. In my last reports, I talked about how crowded it is out there and to be safe. And it's no joke at all. Be safe out there and know how to call the Coast Guard. Channel 16, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. In other news, the bass in the bunker are still stacked heavy. When you find them, there's acres and acres of bass and bunker. So get out there, be safe, Get on this bite. Tight lines. Thank you, and back to you, Matt.
Captain Mike Sentry has the latest from Staten Island.
Thanks, Tim and Matt. Hope all is well. Well, guys, Mike Sentry here from Anglers of Leggio Sportfish and Boatworks. What can I say? Big bass are still here. Miraculously, they have not moved off like they normally would through the years past. So definitely get out there on the Oceanside, and you can either troll, cast, or use live bait, menhaden, or live eels. And you should definitely hook up with a nice jumbo. Make sure you follow the rules with the circle hooks. Bluefish, pretty much almost non-existent in the Raritan Bay. They're definitely catching them a lot in Long Island. I spoke with my friend Mike Dean, and he's been doing pretty good with the bluefish. On the bluefin bite, well, haven't managed to get a trip in the books yet. Been pretty busy, and hopefully this weekend I might be able to go out on a bluefin outing. My friends have been successful with the bluefin, but they've been going out to the 100 square, which is, you know, a little off distance. So definitely get out there and hit some of these jumbo bass before they move off. Water temperature is definitely rising, and tight line, guys.
Lastly, we check in with Captain Benn Gilmour from Marina Pez Vela down in Costa Rica.
Hey guys, checking in here from Costa Rica from the Marina Pez Vela. The offshore fishing right now, we've had a really good run of yellowfin tuna. The schools of yellowfin tuna pushed in tight these last few days. We had some great fishing of fish, mainly in the 30 to 50 pound range with a few bigger fish. Over the offshore reefs, we had some great wahoo, 20, 30, 40 pounders have been running as well. Offshore, there's been marlin, mainly blue marlin, some sailfish, and we had a good run of mahi-mahi. Small to mid-sized mahi in the 6 to 12 pound range have been running. And then tight in against the rocks, we had some really good roosterfish fishing as well, with some big guys, 30, 40 pounders. Hope to see you guys down here soon in Costa Rica. Back over to you, Matt.
Remember to like our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and tap on the bell to be notified instantly when we post a new video on YouTube. Check out this video's description on YouTube for all the related links and index for specific reports. Please support our correspondents by visiting their websites and social media pages. We'll see you right here next week at thefisherman.com.